You've worked hard to build your business, and the last thing that you want is to make one silly mistake that'll make all your hard work come crashing down. Some of the biggest brands in the whole world have made disastrous brand decisions. While hindsight is always 20/20, many of these mistakes all boil down to a few things that are easily prevented. Number 1, not defining your focus. I'm sure you've heard of the oral hygiene brand Colgate, right? Did you know that in the 80s, the brand tried to expand into frozen food? Sounds kind of gnarly, right? At the time, frozen food was a booming trend, and the brand came out with Colgate kitchen entrees. I mean, I don't really need to explain to you why a toothpaste brand failed into breaking into the food industry, do I? You can't be everything to everybody. I'm sure that you're full of brilliant ideas. That's why you're in business in the first place. But by trying to spread your brand too thin or hopping on every single trend that you read about, you will end up being a master of none. By being very focused, consumers will recognize and trust you in your niche. Number 2, not understanding your brand's strengths. You need to know what it is that people love about you. In 1985, the Coca-Cola Company announced that they were going to be making a change to its 100-year-old formula with the launch of new Coke. Blind taste tests had shown that this new formula was more popular with consumers, but what the taste tests couldn't measure? How much attachment Coke's loyal followers had to the recipe. Coca-Cola is rooted in American history and tradition. It's a classic, an American culture staple. Changing something so core to the Coca-Cola brand resulted in anger and hostility. New Coke was a disaster. This just goes to prove even further how much branding is often illogical and tied up with human emotions. This is especially important to remember as your brand's loyalty increases and grows. When you stray too far from what made you successful in the first place, you can alienate your oldest and most loyal followers. Number 3, lying. Please don't falsify information in your marketing. Remember those proof points that we talked about? Don't make them up. If you're unable to live up to your brand's promise, it's better to re-strategize than to attempt to do a cover-up. Think about the Volkswagen falsifying their emissions test controversy back in 2015. Even a well-established brand can lose a great deal of respect and money over a scandal. In our digital age, any hint of a scandal will be quick to blow up, and you don't want to see your brand caught in the midst of something you could have avoided by simply being truthful. Number 4, underestimating social media. It doesn't matter if you use social media personally or not. Your brand must have a presence on social channels. Today, consumers use social media as a customer service platform, source of information, and as a way to communicate and engage with brands. Number 5, being inconsistent. You want your brand to be recognized wherever it is, right? Don't make the simple mistake of not being consistent with your logo, images, or tone online on social media. When you're inconsistent, you will appear unprofessional or even untrustworthy.